Yo, what's happening? I'm here at an event where there's a whole heap of old school UK hip hop artists performing, and I've managed to grab a hold of somebody outside who basically was a big part of what I was doing because this guy was my mentor. I didn't even know he was coming down, but let me introduce you to the guy himself. None other than Yangki. What's going
How you
on,
doing?
bro?
Peace, love. How you doing, brother?
Oh man,
Nice one.
you know what? I know we've been speaking about coming and doing the interview and stuff, and we
Yeah,
haven't
yeah, yeah.
hooked it up yet because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
unreliable as fuck.
I am unreliable because I'm a busy man.
Yeah, no, but it's all good.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know we speak. So, but yeah, bro, do you want to tell people about the
Yeah.
early days and your involvement, and then how we met as well?
You know, back in the days, it was actually only a few people that were actually around that were promoting hip hop, and that time we didn't even have music that was related to what we were doing. We were dancing to things like Talking Heads and other artists. However, there was a collection of multi-talented people that was in one spot, and that was in Covent Gardens, because you can busk and you can earn money, and a lot of people used to gather there. And I met this dude years and years and years and years ago. He was doing beatbox at the time, and he was a very, very talented rapper. He had a great flow, and I wanted him to actually work with me. And yeah, we got to know each other. We started working with each other. We started doing some gigs, little gigs here and there. And then after, the man blew up. He blew up as he did, you know what I'm saying? I knew he was going to.
Like, you were mentoring me on me being the beatboxer and the rapper. You were
Yep.
telling me my strengths, my weaknesses.
Yep.
So, and you were one of the few guys that also taught me to concentrate on my strengths.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Forget the weaknesses. Find
Yep.
out what's weak. Leave them behind.
Yeah,
Focus
yeah.
on your strengths.
Yeah, that's
right. And I remember that clearly. And I think you even came to my flat in New Cross.
Yeah, we did, because I was living in New Cross. I was living in Lewisham at that time.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
was living
that.
in Lewisham. We went to a couple of youth clubs. Mm-hmm. We did a couple of appearances in youth clubs, sort of practice back in the early days. I mean, a lot of the kids didn't even know what was happening in London, and that time we only had a few types of music, like I keep on saying. But yeah, we did a lot of shows, and when I saw you, I knew already that you were gonna blow, because you had the drive, you had the integrity, and you were humble. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing about it, is being humble.
I learned a lot from the guys like you.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the time, if you remember, there was a lot of people who weren't really accepting of me as well.
No, they weren't, and which was a contradiction to like what hip hop is about. Hip hop was actually a collection of everybody. It's about empowering the people who are down on the bottom. So discrimination is not part of hip hop at all. So when people started actually having these views, already they're not actually behaving in the right format of what hip hop was about. When it came out of the Bronx, it was the Latinos, it was the Haitians, you had a multitude of different cultures. And in fact, when hip hop started in the East Coast, it didn't even go to Canada. It came to UK. It came to UK, and then afterwards, it went to Canada, and then the West Coast. Because a lot of the people who were doing the sound systems were reggae men. And the reggae men, they travel everywhere, you know what I'm saying? From Jamaica, they go to Germany, they travel everywhere, So it was a love. It was a big love. However, the discrimination and I'm bigger than you and you shouldn't be there because you've got the wrong color skin was.
You think that was part of it?
That was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of bullshit, and you had to endure a lot of bullshit, but you rise above it like a phoenix. So here you are. You have lovely kids, you've moved forward, and I'm blessed to know that I know you.
You were one of the few people. There's other people that I can mention, like, they showed me, it was things I already knew.
Yeah.
But it was basically
It needed
I
to
had
be
to find.
clarified.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes you just need that justification from somebody else.
Yeah, sure.
No matter
Sure.
what when there's 1,000 people knocking you back.
Yep.
You sometimes just need that one voice to say, you know what, don't listen.
Yeah, you did very well. You did very well, especially for the British hip hop. You did very well. You had a nice flow. The beats that were coming out were actually representing Britain.
But bro, obviously this conversation, I didn't want it to be about me. I just wanted a quick introduction.
Come on.
To say that we know each other from way back.
I'm, what I'm saying, I'm, as you know, as humble as pie. I was one of the premier beatboxers at the time.
Tell 'em.
And at the time, there was a lot of styles that were going about. People were batting their lips, but I decided I didn't want to bat my lips. I wanted to do a 808 sort of version of beatbox, and which I created. And then after, I kind of had a love-hate with hip hop because I saw all the hypocrisy that was happening inside it. So, we live and we learn and we move forward. But however, we're still here and we're standing strong.
I remember seeing you at the WAG Club, I think at the Fat Boys gig.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember someone kind of pulling you to the side.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the world who that... Don't tell the story yet.
All right.
But do you remember who it was that pulled you to the side?
Oh, yeah, that was Jeffrey Daniels.
Right.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know who Jeffrey Daniels is, basically go and do your research, okay? Watch Top of the Pops, watch a whole bunch of other things, and this is the guy that basically taught Michael Jackson a few moves and whatever. So go and check that. Jeffrey Daniels pulled this guy to the side, and what did he say to you, bro?
He said, "You got this," and that was the first time I heard a collection of words put together like that. When he said to me, "You got this," because I didn't even want to go on the stage because.
Right. But explain what that situation was. Who else was on that stage that he was having to tell you, you got this?
The Fat Boys, and I can't even, is it? What, I can't even buff. Yeah. Now, I didn't want to go on the mic because I know a bit about sound engineering, and I knew that his mic was beefed up. So therefore, if I'm going to take any mic, I'm going to be taking one of the vocalist's mic, and that's not going to represent not at all. So I had to do some magic. And really, Jeffrey Daniels actually gave me the wings and pushed me out. He literally pushed me out, and everybody were like calling my name. Yeah. And thanks to everybody, it's the fans who actually gave me the strength to actually go forward and actually do this. And if it wasn't for the fans, then I would have actually not had the courage to go on the stage, even if Jeffrey Daniels pushed me out there as well.
That was May 1985, bro.
Yeah,
right?
That was,
and,
yeah.
And can I just say, R.I.P. Buff, you showed us a lot of things. We were learning from you.
Yes.
We were learning from Dougie Fresh. We were learning from Lipmaster T and all those other people.
Yeah.
And I was learning from this guy right here,
Thank
Yangki.
you.
Right? But basically, you also work with Sipo. Tell us a little bit about Sipo.
Sipo was a cat that was actually very talented as well. During the time when I was doing beatbox and I was doing the circuit, doing like television shows and stuff like that, Sipo wasn't actually doing beatbox. But however, I wanted to actually put a group together so that we can actually expand, not just do youth clubs and do theaters and stuff like that. I wanted it to be able to have like a big show, like a stage show. So I got Sipo, and we started a group which I named Bass and Treble. And then after, we had a rapper, which was a Little Red Rapping Hood, who was actually, the third piston to our group. And we were getting it together. Things work, and then after, a lot of the shows started to die down a little bit, and everybody used to, the scene came sort of, gimme. A lot of egos, started to you know, evolve, you know. So, you know, during that time, you know, doing beatbox, for me, I was getting to the stage when Sipo came along, and I was teaching Sipo, and I'm teaching him how to actually present himself and be a good sort of person in the sense of how you present yourself. I wasn't feeling beatbox anymore, because I just felt like I was dancing, singing, black guy on stage. I had that change of emotion where I knew that I had much more talent being an amateur boxer, as I used to be an amateur boxer, and wanted to get into like the physiotherapy sort of side of it. I felt like I was doing myself a disservice, actually, you know, at that stage.
Or you just weren't being appreciated to the level that you should have been.
Well, you know, it really didn't really matter whether I was appreciated or not, because I know I brought something to the table. Yeah. So whether
but what I'm saying is, when you get that appreciation and you're doing what you're doing, right, then you basically have that little extra oomph to want to carry on.
Yeah.
No, but if you haven't got that, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If everyone is constantly, like, you have to be a strong person, which, like, for example, we were talking about my situation. When I got 1,000 people going no, and then there's that one person going yes. That's all I need.
That one person that said yes. Of course, because sometimes you know people have a different way of looking things, and there's always that one person that sees things differently, and that one person you want to listen to is called feedback. And feedback is one thing that you have to pay for now. Before you get it for free, and people don't even realize that it's right there in your face. So all information, even whether good or bad, is good information.
Where do you think the scene went wrong? I mean, you've already said about the disconnection, the egos, and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that was enough to destroy what we were building? Because at one point, I remember, like, America, New York in particular, was the home of hip hop. Then it was London was pretty close.
And then France.
And then Germany. And So how come we're so far behind all those places now?
Because I think there was a lot of ego that was, one thing about any discipline that you do, you have to find yourself. You have to know about yourself. If you don't know about yourself, then what happens is actually you become just an ego bot. I'm great, but you're not actually great, because it's the fans that make you great. So what happened in the hip hop scene, a lot of people had egos, and a lot of it became segregated within the color aspect. Not for everybody, but for a small group. So hip hop became color orientated, when in the beginning it wasn't about color, and people didn't give you as much love as well. You know what I'm saying? However, that didn't matter. It really didn't matter, because you had a lot of people who actually had your back. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, that's important as well. That is also important, that when you're dealing with, when you did your shows and you blew up, a lot of people didn't like you, because the simple fact that you were the wrong color skin, and I find that pathetic. I find it really pathetic, because you're actually going against what hip hop is about.
And I wonder how many people get taken out of the scene because they didn't have the willpower or the mental capacity to deal with that.
Many. I can't even list names, but however, there is many that actually, a lot of talented people that actually, fell back. However, Covent Gardens was an academy. It was an academy of extra talented gentlemen. Serious. This is the truth.
Even the guys that weren't talented came through and supported the guys who were talented.
Of course.
So what I'm saying is, we had the talent, then we had the fans. Now, everywhere you go, it's just the talent. Where's the fans?
Well, you had the haters. And the haters were the ones who were actually ones who caused trouble. See, we came down there to perform. We didn't come down there to steal. We didn't come down there.
Speak for yourself, bro.
I'm joking. We didn't come down there to steal. We came down there to actually perform and actually homing in on our talent and try to create something. But however, it turned into something else. So, you know, that's how it is. That's how life goes. The laws of nature is what it is, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say?
Listen, this is a great gig, and there is some beautiful people, and just one person that's come to the side of me, Mr. TNT himself. Mr. TNT, and this is one of the first guys that I saw in Covent Gardens, who we saw each other and we just we clicked straight away.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And this man knows me better. This man knows me better than most. You know.
All right. Well, I got something to say.
Yes, please.
When the hell are you gonna come to my studio and do a proper sofa chat? Because I already done one
And
with
beatbox.
And beatbox.
Oh my days.
Hold on. You ain't getting away.
Sorry.
Thanks for the reminder as well.
Sorry. I hold my tongue. There's another superstar here with us, Daddy Speedo. He's good. Oh, I didn't even see you.
I don't know about the superstar.
Because you're a superstar, man. Because you're a superstar. We have unfinished business.
All right, so bro, you know I can't let you get off the mic without you doing some beatbox, right? No, bro, come on, Colin,
Please.
help me.
No.
Bro, okay, you see this guy? Hold on.
You're gonna bust a
No,
rhyme.
this is about you. This ain't about me.
No,
right? This is about you.
No,
People see me all the time. They don't see you all the
Beatbox
time.
has never been a solo.
Okay,
It's never been a solo thing.
My ears are closed right now.
No,
but anyway,
listen, no, I'm not hearing that.
Bro,
You want me to rap?
okay. So this guy.
Let's have a trio.
This guy.
A trio.
Okay, you look.
Yeah.
So hold on. This guy was
my
notorious.
days.
This guy was notorious for one particular thing, but he was good at everything. But everyone knows him for the monster.
Yeah, Monster Munch.
Right.
Well,
Right.
yeah, no, I'm not doing Monster Munch.
Go on.
No. My main thing was the Casio. The Casio was Monster Munch. Monster Munch was it was a thing, you know. It was a marketing thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it
more
worked.
than-
It worked.
It did work, you
You
know
know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying?
And they even named crisps after it as well.
Yeah, and that's the truth actually, because at that time they didn't have Monster Munch. They didn't have Monster Munch at that time. Yeah, I looked up to people like Bismarcky as well. Bismarcky, bless his soul.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He was actually really talented, artist, and on top of that, he was a character as well. You know, when I went to New York, I met up with him at Roseland and a lot of other people. You know, I've done a lot of shows back in the early days, because back in the early days there was a lot of warehouse parties in London, and unfortunately there is no footage of that because there wasn't people like nowadays where you can actually have a cameraman. So let's get this going.
I was gonna say I wouldn't normally say this to someone who's mentored me, but shut up and beatbox, bro.
All right. Namaste. Namaste. Only you can get away with that. Anybody else say that, they get left hook.
And you use the box as well. I'm crazy for
yeah.
doing that. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it.